Hi, nobodies. Take number 3. Today's been a good day for me. Uh, I didn't get a whole lot done today. I did get my living room set up, and I did go get my girl Lexi. Um, and she was hiding all day, so it was kind of nerve wracking. Like, where is she? Where did she go? I mean, I looked practically everywhere for her except the place where she was because she hadn't. I don't think she moved all day because when I finally got her to come out, um, she attacked her food like she was starving to death, and now she is just like all over me, all over everything. I think she thinks that something's going to jump out and get her. Um, But I did get my living room set up. I had to take my aunt to to a couple of doctor's appointments that she couldn't take herself to because she woke up with double vision. So went to the doctor. They sent her to imaging and then sent her home. And then she's like, "Well, the doctor's office, the eye doctor can get me in." So we went to the eye doctor. You know, then I had a visitor, and then I had to help somebody set up a Roku over the phone, which is always fun to do stuff like that over the phone. In my house, I was always the one who did that stuff, because it takes like 2 minutes, if that, if you know what you're doing. So, um, but I did get it done. And I'm so psyched. I mean, the only thing that would make it better is if I had internet, which I will have tomorrow. Um, Still trying to figure if, like, I have a doctor's appointment on the 6th, and I'm trying to figure if I want to keep that doctor's appointment or if I want to reschedule it. Funny thing. Now, it's funny, like, I can get all kinds of Facebook messages and stuff, but when I, like, look up Greyhound bus lines, like, to see how much a fare costs, oh, reload page. Page won't load, with the internet thing. But when I Googled, like, how much does it cost to go from here to here, okay, the price that they quoted on Google, I was like, it's cheaper for me to rent a car and I'll get there sooner, even if I have to make pit stops. And I was like, why the fuck would I ride a bus if it's going to cost the same amount? Now if it was going to cost that round trip, like if it was like, hey, you get there, like if it's $137 round trip, okay, that makes sense. That makes it to where, like if I was going to rent a car, it's like $137 one way, and then you got to come back. But there's no way I'm riding a fucking bus when I could drive. I mean, it's like the anxiety levels are gonna be the same, if not worse, because I have no control over the bus stopping and when it gets to start up again, and waiting seems to be kind of a problem for me. So, um, I, I don't know if I'm gonna see. I've got a doctor's appointment because I haven't changed over my insurance yet, and it took me so long to get the physical. And I'm kind of like, well, maybe I should just fucking go to it because it's gonna take so long to get the the help paying my premium. It takes a while to get that. So I was like, and then I have to find a doctor down here, and I'm like, well, I was planning on going back up there anyway for a little while. You know, weighing the options on that, and thinking, you know, and then, this afternoon when I was on the phone with somebody, I got accused of something that I was like, what? There's When my mother-in-law died, my phone came up missing. I tore my house up looking for it. I thought maybe my son had run off with it. But the way Gavin was like he just like leave it somewhere. But like, I cleaned the whole house looking for this phone before I called David to say, like, hey, I can't find my phone. And just so you're like, well, you called him, dipshit. No, no, the phone was a first generation Samsung Galaxy, and it did not have service, but it was totally badass for somebody who'd never had one. I think at the time they were on like the S3. And so the first one, I had like all these batteries for it, and chargers for the batteries, and you know and it had a cracked screen, but I was like, I can play so many games on it. So I was really upset that it was missing. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, I've looked all through the house, because even though my brother-in-law was or is a drug addict, I did not want to accuse him or his girlfriend of taking my phone. I was like, so I said to David, I was like, can you ask them if maybe they accidentally picked up my phone, you know, or whatever? And of course they're both like, no, 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 we didn't. Next day, I figured out that they did. I was pretty sure. Because I believe David actually looked too, like looking for it. And I knew where I had left it. And, but the thing was even though I felt my brother-in-law was despicable, I did not want to accuse him of taking something, because it's like the worst feeling if you didn't do something, when somebody's accusing you of doing it because you're suspect, you know. But the next day, I had posted on Facebook, and then I see a comment from myself that I knew was my brother-in-law. And I was like, oh yeah, you didn't take my phone, but you're posting on Facebook as me. There's only one way you could be posting on Facebook as me, and that's if you've got my phone, you dipshit. And as it turned out that day, total hillbilly hijinks that day that my mother-in-law died. There was a fight at the house. My sister-in-law accidentally grabs up my brother-in-law's phone. So we get to the hospital because David and his brother got into it. His brother's pit bull grabbed hold of David, like ripped a hole in David's arm. And we ended up going to the hospital. And I said something to my sister-in-law about, like, hey, your phone's in my car. And she's like, no, it's not. So that day I got my phone back, because my sister-in-law, when shit went down, just happened, she had like the same type of phone as my brother-in-law, so she just happened to grab his phone, and he wanted his phone back so badly, because of course he doesn't know his, he didn't know his contacts at all, He wanted that phone back real bad. I gave it back to him when I got my phone. Of course, his was wiped, but because, not out of specifically spite, well, yeah. I mean, it was a hassle, because it was like, okay, you stole my phone the day your mom died. You came into my house and grabbed my phone, and then acted like you didn't know anything about it, and then you had it. It was like, and I wouldn't have gotten it back if not for this. So the hassle of that was he lost his SD card, and he lost all of his contacts on his phone. On his phone. Now, that doesn't mean like if he remembered his Google password, he'd be all right. But junkies aren't really good at remembering stuff like that. That's why they got like 4 or 5 profiles on Facebook, because they forget usernames and passwords. So I'm pretty sure all his dealers and friends were. He was like, man, I'm gonna have to hunt them down, and I ain't got a car, and it was bad. It was bad time. So, but even him, I didn't want to accuse him. Um, so being accused of taking things is just like, no, I didn't. And you get kind of mad, because you're like, I'm gonna get the blame because somebody misplaced their shit, you know, or maybe something fell out of their car, or whatever, and they're like, well, she went outside a bunch of times. Yeah, to vape. Anybody could have watched me vape. I just walked out to the porch and I called my kids, I think, or texted or whatever, but I stayed on the porch. But still, it makes you feel like really like it's kind of a how dare you? I mean, I get that like things come up missing, but when things come up missing, I don't automatically assume that, you know, well, who's been in my house? I know there was a time my Xanax come up missing and I knew somebody had been in my house, but at the same time, I never actually accused him. And I think when we were moving, I found the bottle. So I was really glad that I never accused him. I never brought it up because I was like, you know what? It was it it was just like 5 or 6 pills. Wasn't worth mentioning because I didn't need them at that moment. I was just looking for them because I was like, they're mine, keep track of my shit. I think I was adding more pills to the bottle or whatever. I would transfer the bottles. So, but I had thought for the longest time he had come in and taken my bottle. But I never said anything, and I never said to David, he can't come over here anymore. No, I just hid my shit. you know, I just like if it's that important, if it's important enough that you're freaking out about losing it, you need to keep better track of it. I don't play about that. But of course, in this situation, like what do they know about me? It's like I was the stranger there. And the other person with me was like, they're gonna think I did it. It's like, yeah, why? You never went outside. But it makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel when somebody accuses you of something that you didn't do. It certainly makes you feel like they think I'm trash. That person thinks that I'm trash to think I would do that. Am I going to hold that against them? Yes, I will. If I ever saw that person again, would I sit there and say anything to them? No, I'm not. Because if they were nice, I'd be nice. I mean, that's how I am. It's how I was raised. I can't be any other way. But in the back of my mind, I'll be sitting there screaming at them, like in my head, I'll be like, "You snotty bitch," you know, like, like, did you ever find it, or did you do this? Did you do that, you know, or whatever. I mean, it's tough because so I try not to accuse people of stuff because and legitimately I misplace things all the time. And I've spent 20 years with David, and David is one of these people that will say, I know I laid it right here. No, you didn't, because it's not right there. And then you find it like in some oddball place, you know, and it's like, see, you didn't, but I remember laying it right here. Yeah, because you normally do. You just didn't, because sometimes, like, if you do the same thing every day, you're liable to think that you did it every day, even if you didn't. So, like, if your wallet goes in a certain place and you're really good about putting your wallet there, and one day you get distracted and it's in your pants pocket in the laundry hamper, you know, and I mean, he would tear shit apart looking for stuff. And it was like, it's not right there. You obviously put it somewhere else, you know? Um, so I can sit there and think, okay, I know that I had this here and I saw it on this day. Just like I can say, I remember taking my pills. But the thing is the memory I have could be of the day before. This is why I have an alarm on my phone so that I'll remember to, like, I have to take them now. Because if I get distracted on my way to taking them, then I will think that I took them. Because I'll have the memory of taking them some other day. Because the pills are in the same place all the time. um, that's what people do. You'll have this memory. Yeah, I know you're there. I know you're there. Nobody can forget that you're there. You're a good girl. She scratched my foot. I kid you not, a sucker itches like a son of a bitch. She's the only cat that I've had that I'm allergic to. So, but I had a good day, even though it was on the table that I might have taken somebody's charger or cord. And I was like, why? She's probably got an iPhone. Why would I do that? But hey, when people don't know you, they just assume, okay, who's the new person? It must be them. um it doesn't really hurt my feelings. I was more hurt. I get my feelings hurt more if people just, I don't know. I get my feelings hurt more if I care about what they think. If I have no opinion of a person, it's just kind of aggravating. Um, but I'm gonna go. Had a great day. Hope you had a great day. As I always say, every moment is an opportunity to turn things around. You can reframe negative and turn it into something less negative or positive. So have a good night. Bye.